G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for being here to watch the late night, early Sunday morning version of the Wildkard Rugby show. And it is Six Nations, it is round 4, it is Italy versus Scotland. And it is true that the Calcutta Cup hangover is a legitimate issue for the Scottish team. 4 years in a row now, Scotland has beaten England in the Calcutta Cup. And pretty much 4 years in a row, Scotland has gone on immediately to lose their next match, no matter who the opponent is, except for last year against Wales, whom was basically getting a new management, sacking of the old coach Wayne Pivac, and bringing in Warren Gatland. That was the only game that Scotland won after winning the Calcutta Cup, but then they did go on immediately the week after to lose to France. So yeah, you can still say that's the result of the Calcutta Cup hangover. And boy, this is just one of the more embarrassing losses following the Calcutta Cup for the Scottish team. 31 points to 29, losing to Italy. This was a very, very good Italian team. I am actually blown away by how good this Italian side has developed since the Rugby World Cup. You know, they lost to the All Blacks 96 points to 17. And with the removal of their former coach, what was his name? I can't even remember. But the new coach came in, Gonzalo Casada, has really turned the team around, really instilled this young team with new confidence and a new style of rugby. I think that really a lot more structure, a lot more self-belief in this Italian team. And I was surprised by the crowd turnout in this game in Rome. Like, it was pretty much sold out in the stadium. 50,000-60,000 people for a game against Scotland. You know, that is a statement of how much the Italian rugby has developed in a very rapid, short period of time following the Rugby World Cup. And I really can't believe that, you know, Louis Lynagh, the son of Michael Lynagh, has debuted for Italy on this game as well. There were some rumors that he was going to go to Benetton. Suddenly, the rumors became reality. He left the Premiership and all of a sudden just, decided to join Benetton in the Italian side. And in fact, when that happened, I was actually wondering to myself if he's actually going to debut for Italy for, I didn't think he was going to debut this quick. I thought he was considering a career with Italy as an international, but I actually did not expect him to debut this quickly for the Italian side. And sure enough, on his debut, showing his worth, getting that first try in his international test career on the board. And showing that he's probably made the right decision with this growing young talented group of Italian rugby players. He's on the boat. He's on the ride to something very, a very great and bright future for Italian rugby. So I think he's definitely made the right move. There, the review for his performance in the English Premiership was actually quite negative from the English pundits. There was talks that he wasn't being selected to play in the Harlequins in the starting position because he was a poor tackler. He did, every time he stepped on the field for the Harlequins, I think I watched him playing it was a Champions Cup game, I think, and he was just brilliant. I think he scored 1 or 2 tries, and then the commentator was like, oh yeah, don't worry that he's really brilliant at scoring tries. His defense is not that great. I thought it was a little bit of surprising that they really hammered him a bit in commentary, and then he really showed that, proved some of those haters wrong, stepping into the Italian jersey and giving it a whirl tonight against the Scotland, a very, very Scotland team. Still in the run for the Triple Crown, but they're definitely out unless some miracle that England beats Ireland. I think they're pretty much definitely out from winning the Six Nations for this year. And outside of the Haggis hangover, that is the Calcutta Cup for the Scotland side, I really felt the Scotland team didn't do their homework for this game. Not just the homework for this game, but I was very, very surprised that the Scotland team didn't really know what to do when they were chasing the game. Yeah, Italian got themselves ahead, and suddenly you can visibly see the frustrations, the finger pointing, a lot of aggressive, fast gestures at teammates starting to come out. And it was very evident to me when there was a minute left on the clock. Scotland scored a try. They needed a penalty to win the game. And you can very clearly see that Scotland didn't know the path to victory to get that penalty. If this was a Springboks, they would have kicked with a minute left on the clock. They would have played territory. They would have kicked the ball deep back into into Italian side, maybe even a box kick into the just into the Italian half and try to force a penalty with their forwards. It's the Springboks would know exactly what to do to get themselves in the position to get that penalty, especially with a minute left on the clock. You still got time to play that territory game. Scotland didn't entertain any of that, just held onto the ball and rammed the Italian defense like a literal battering ram for over a minute, for 2 minutes or something. Just hard try to run the ball into the Italian half. And that's just not the way to do it. That's just not a smart way to do it. And you can see once they were inside the Italian half, they didn't have an idea how to get the penalty. It was very evident as well. They were spreading the ball in the wide channels, pushing those passes that really shouldn't be pushing, especially when there's not enough. Like, you would only try to do the offload if there's actually if you made it if you gone past the gain line and actually created an opportunity. Especially you knowing that you only got one shot at this, but they're just trying to throw the ball out, popping the ball out of the rack as quickly as possible, trying to trying to score a try essentially every time they were running the ball, and that was the downfall of the Scotland side. They end up dropping the ball, as we probably all seen that what's going to happen when you're rushing those passes out, trying to get them out of the racks, and again, if this was if this was a tier 1 team like the Irish Springboks or the All Blacks, maybe even the French, in this situation, they would just jam the center of the field with the big forwards, with the big centers, and try to get a penalty. Basically, if this was Springboks, I'll tell you exactly what they would do. They would get a forward, someone like Peterson Dutoit, to just ram down center of the field, or maybe even Damien Delinda to ram down center of the field and have 3 or 4 forwards to basically trap the tackler on the wrong side of the field, on the wrong side of the rack. And then they will try to get over the advantage line, trap someone, and try to get the penalty. That's exactly what what the Springboks would do. And we didn't see any of that from the Scotland team. It was just let's try to score this in one phase, please. And that tells me that Gregor Townsend didn't really do their homework thoroughly preparing for this match. I guess they probably didn't expect the game to come down this close, but then again, you should have known how to deal with this situation, just from general practice just from other teams as well. So I was a little bit surprised to see how that ended in that front. And also there was a lot of soft penalties from the Scotland team. The Italians was very disciplined. I was amazed how disciplined they were. They were under the pumps by Scotland early in the game as well, and they were holding on to themselves, not giving away free penalties, and slowly but surely claw themselves back into the game and claw themselves to win this match. This was not an easy win by any stretch of imagination for the Italians. And Scotland on the other side, soft penalties everywhere. There was one where in the second half, offside from advancing in front of your ball kicker, just real, and then the cost them 3 points there, and then breakdown penalties just really shouldn't be giving away silly ones like that. Especially advancing in front of your own kicker sort of thing. It's just really amateur level amateur levels of errors. This really shouldn't be happening at this level of international test rugby. So with that being said, let's have a look at the match stats. Italians was under the pumps despite winning the game, still way short of run meters compared to Scotland. 685 to Italy's 343. The Italians wasn't that good at running meters, but they didn't get as many opportunities as the Scotland team, but they were able to find gaps everywhere. The Scotland defense was sometimes was a little bit lacking as well, a bit of miscommunication here and there as well. 11 turnovers conceded against Italy, 15 against Scotland, 213 tackles made for Italy, 36 missed tackles, just about 15% missed tackle mark, which is still quite good for test matches. For Scotland, 15 missed tackles out of 130, also a really good mark there for Scotland. But it's just the crucial difference is the penalty when it comes down to it. The kicks in play, I thought Finn Russell, especially early in the first half, really played the kicking game really, really well. But then he once the pressure mounted, the kicking game was just really starting to become more of an issue than an actual strategic move for Scotland. A lot of the kicks were just down the field. There was, kicks that kind of just gone dead from crossfield kicks. And it was really starting to kick this. It really wasn't finding its mark when the pressure started to come on. Also, this was the first game in the entire Six Nations season in 2024 that Finn Russell missed the conversion. Yeah, it wasn't too hard of a kick as well. It wasn't like right from the sideline. Wasn't too difficult of a kick, and he should have got that. And yeah, and that was the 2-point difference from being a draw and being losing the game. So yeah, Finn Russell missing the first one in the entire season, 100% going into this match, and he had a bit of laugh about it, and then starting to feel the pressure mounting on himself. Sort of after that, the Italian had a bit of a line-out issues. The Scotland team was able to disrupt the line-out quite well, and they were also they did also give away some penalties there as well, like just grabbing the opposition ball jumper, receiver in the air sort of thing, just unnecessary stuff. 3 line-out loss for Italy, 0 for Scotland. Scrum was quite even, both teams. I thought the Italians had a bit of an ascendancy in the second half when Zander Fagerson came off the field. The Scotland, once again, scrum was just not quite up to the test level, especially coming off the bench. Even with that 6-2 setup on the bench, Scotland's forward pack was just really not getting the brutality that Scotland really needed in a tight game like this. Penalties conceded, 5 against Italy, 12 against Scotland. Like I said, the Italians was able to absorb pressure early in the game, not giving away silly penalties, and Scotland giving away silly penalties early in the game, and then when pressure mounted, the penalty count just skyrocketed. Not skyrocketed, but the penalty count just kept on rising. Really didn't control themselves in keeping that under, and that was the difference overall. Is the penalty goals. The Scotland did score more tries. In fact, the first penalty was kicked immediately from the kickoff. Holding the ball off the ground. Just like really silly stuff. Like right from the kickoff, Scotland received the ball. Immediately there was people just laying over the ball. And Italy's like, yep, we'll take three points. And they got 1 minute on the clock. But Scotland was able to get themselves in front foot. There was lots of nice play. There were a lot of offloading stuff and there was a lot of juggling plays. Everybody was juggling the ball, but no one dropped the ball. And eventually, Scotland got really close to the try line. B-boys pounding the try line, and the biggest one of them all, Zander Fagerson crashed over. Pretty sure it was Zander Fagerson crashed over for the first try for the Scotland 5 minutes into the game. 7 points to 3, Scotland leads. Few minutes later, 13 minutes on the clock, and this game was just been playing at a furious speed. There was Scotland was just able to get past the gang line consistently just by the fast breakdown, and just the runners from the Scotland team was just able to get over the advantage line with the players like Van der Merwe getting over the advantage line and then quick ball getting over the advantage line again. And eventually that was just too much. Kyle Stang got the ball. Nice little angle, ran into Capuzzo, bumped him over for the try. 14 points to 3. And then 40 minutes into the game, this was starting to look pretty bad. If Scotland kept playing with that furious speed, it's going to be a complete blowout. But Italian hung in there. 40 minutes in the game. In fact, a minute later, Italy get a penalty. They go for the line out. They go for the maul. And then it was just a beautiful little kicking game. The ball was going straight towards the goalpost and put in a really awkward position for the Scotland players to catch this one. And basically, Ignacio... what's his name? Is that his name? Ignacio? Number 13. No. Brex. Ignacio Brex goes in for the try for the Italians, like just because the post kind of blocked the ball a little bit and went in for the try. 10 points to 14. Right from the, after this try was scored, the game settled down for a bit. 24 minutes into the game, there was a tackle off the ball against the Italians. So Finn Russell popped this one through. 17 points to 10. 26 minutes into the game, literally a couple minutes later, Finn Russell kicks a very easy 50-22 following a nice little intercept by the Scotland team, and then they just quickly turn the ball over. Finn Russell just pumped the ball down the field, 50-22. They went for the maul, and then Schoeman goes in for the try for Scotland. At this point, it was looking maybe a bit too easy because Finn Russell. This is the point where Finn Russell kicked the missed conversion, leaving the score 22 points to 10. 33 minutes into the game, the Italians did their job, trapped the play on the ground. Very obviously, the halfback put his knee on the play on the ground to keep him in the ruck, and then Angus Garner had pretty much no choice to give the penalty. 13 points to 22. 33 minutes. 38 minutes into the game, another soft penalty against the Scotland team. and Italian takes another 3, 16 points to 22. At this point, when this happened, you can visibly see the Scottish team very frustrated. Just before halftime, just before halftime, the Scotland team tried to do like a haymaker move. You can see Finn Russell was just like yelling at his teammates. They tried to do like a haymaker move. They got the penalty on the on the clock when it's red. Finn Russell kicked the penalty out for the line out. They didn't just ask the referee to they didn't just end the game. They wanted the penalty to kick the ball off of the line out, and they went for the line out. They try really hard, but eventually just push the pass a little bit too hard. They just couldn't quite close that out to get a penalty or they lost the ball essentially. Just Italy scooped out the ball, kicked the ball out, ended at halftime. So again, frustration starting to mount for the Scottish team at this point, and they're still leading at this point by 22 points to 16. And you can visibly see Finn Russell not happy, maybe because of a missed goal. Who knows, right? Second half starts 3 minutes into the second half. Immediately in the second half, it looked like Scotland team has scored a try. A nice little deep pass. Hugh Jones ran through a nice gap, linked up with George Horn, who went in for the try. TMO review, Schoeman took out a defender in the leading up to the try, opening up the gap. So try was declining, and more frustration settled in for the Scotland team. 43 minutes in the game. Again, nice little kick behind. The Scotland team just didn't have that coverage at the back for some reason. Lynagh ran through. Louis Lynagh ran through, showing his debut, making his debut an all-time success. Scooped up the ball, puts the ball down for the try. Just incredible individual speed, and just the little push through from Gabisi, and just easy as that. Gabisi missed his conversion as well. 21 points to 22. And then the game blacked out on Stan Sport. So I don't know what happened for the next 5 minutes. In fact, for the next about 5 or 10 minutes, I don't know what happened. But luckily, nothing happened. So then 7 minutes into the game, there was a huge missed tackle from Scotland team. Defense, again, just little in the wider channels. A couple forwards caught out against some elusive backs. Italy got really close to the try line, breaking through the stalemate. And eventually, after pounding the try line with crash balls, Varney picked up the ball, the number 9. Little dummy and go himself goes in for the try, and that ticks the Italians up 28 points to 22. And this was really disappointing because the guy that made the line break was the Italian number 8, Ross Vincent. Kyle Stain just let him through essentially. He just got outrun by the number 8. That really shouldn't happen. It really didn't look like Kyle Stain was committed to make this tackle, which was I was really disappointed looking at that effort from Kyle Stain to chase down the number 8. 71 minutes into the game, the Scotland gave away the penalty, advancing in front of their own kicker. Elementary school error. Gabisi kicked this one from 40 meters out, and then right from pretty much very close to the sideline as well. Really good kick from Gabisi. 31 points to 22. And finally, 75 minutes into the game, there was a deliberate knock-on. The game played on. The referee Gardner and the side judge said just play on, looks fine. But obviously, the in-game, you're watching it live, it's really quick. It depends on what angle you're standing. It looked like the ball just accidentally hit his hand going to the tackle. But on replay, it did look like the Italian player stuck his hand out to deliberately knock the ball forward. And I thought that should have been a yellow card. Carl Dixon, the side judge, said that should have been a yellow card. And then Angus Garner said that he thinks it's just a penalty. And then the TMO said it's just a penalty. And Garner's just like, yep, we're just going to go 2-1 sort of thing with just the penalty, no yellow card. But I thought that should have been a yellow card because that was Carl Dixon is right, because that was a deliberate knock-on inside the 22. And that really disrupted the Scotland's ability to score a try there. And I thought that should have been a yellow card. But Gardner and the TMO agreed that this should just be a penalty. Went that way instead. But I agree with Dixon that there should have been a yellow card. And then finally, the 77 minutes, following those penalties, Scotland went for the 5-meter line out. They crashed the ball. They the maul didn't go anywhere. They crashed the ball. Eventually, Sam Skinner went over on the 77-minute mark, 78-minute mark for the try. 31 points to 29. And finally, the kickoff. And I'm going to talk about this. Scotland didn't look like they have any idea how to get the last 3 points, or last 3 points rather, to win the game. Try to run the ball from his own 22, from their own 22, all the way to score a try every phase. They got into the Italian half, but was just, eventually one of those, 50-50 passes off the ground, got to Scotland, and knock on, game over. History is made. Italy beat Scotland 31 points to 29. When it comes to performance, I thought this was a really, really good performance by Italy. This is probably the best performance from Italy I can remember, in recent times at least. I don't really watch Italy that much. So I think this was probably like a 8.5 for the Italian side's performance. Scotland probably started off as like an 8. I think they really finished off at like a 5. So it wasn't very great for Scotland. So yeah, probably like a 6 overall for Scotland in terms of their performance. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. And thanks for watching this video. Thanks for letting me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And thanks for people who donates money, supports me financially. Really, keeps me interested, I guess. Keeps me motivated to keep doing this videos. Actually, it doesn't matter. I'll do this just because I love rugby. So I would do it anyway. But thanks for your money anyway. I appreciate that. Have a good one. I'll see you guys later for the England-Ireland game. Cheers.